Hello, Liz. I think we are live.
Hello, Virginia.
It's
Okay.
Tech Thursday.
Yeah, it is yet again another Tech
Another Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday.
Hope everyone is doing well today.
Yeah, enjoying,
Sunny.
well,
Today is sunny. At least
here
where I
here
am
it's
is sunny.
dry. So yeah, at the
Yeah.
time you're viewing this video, it may not be, but we hope you're having a good day wherever you are. So again, welcome everybody to the Port Moody Public Library's Tech Thursday. My name is Liz. I'm here with my colleague Virginia. We're both digital and information services librarians with the library. And this week, we are here to talk to you about a very special product called Lynda.com. Now, before we get started, we do invite everybody to ask their questions to us during the video in the comments section under the video. Just type in your comment, your question. We'll be happy to address those during the video if you're watching live. If you happen to be watching a recording of this, not a problem. We'd still love to see your comments and questions, and we will definitely get back to you as soon as we can. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to turn over to Virginia for Lynda.com.
All right. So we figured today, last few weeks, we have been talking about some of our online stuff that you can borrow, online books, online audiobooks, online magazines. So if you missed those, do go back to Facebook, and the video should be there for your viewing pleasure. But what we thought we'd do today is take a break from reading and listening to books and do something else that we think a lot of people might be doing quite a bit these days, which is learning new things. And we have at the library a really great resources that governments uses, business users, university users to give professional development opportunities for their students and for their employees. And it is available free at the library for all of you. And that is lynda.com. And you may know it, or if you go on lynda.com website, you might actually see it as link in learning because it was so good that I think LinkedIn bought lynda.com and is in the process of rebranding it. But at the moment at the library, it is still referred to as lynda.com, but they are basically the same thing. LinkedIn Learning and also lynda.com are the same product, but the library version is called lynda.com. And this is, like I said, one that you can get a lot of online learning done. Now, as I mentioned, some of the agencies and organizations that are using this product, you might think, okay, well, it's all about like professional development. And yes, it is. There's quite a lot of that. So if you want to learn how to be a graphic designer, or if you want to learn how to be a JavaScript coder, or if you're interested in becoming a front-end developer, you want to maybe get some time management, project management skills, for your business, or like you want to learn marketing for your business. Those are all courses available on lynda.com. So a lot of like professional, a lot of maybe work related things. However, lynda.com has more than that, and I will show you in a quick minute what those other things are like. So it's not just for people who are working, but it's also for people who are just maybe looking for, to learn a little bit of different hobby. Now, Lynda.com is a video tutorial learning platform, which means they're all video based. And what they do is they basically take a course and they will cut it into like, say maybe like 10 or 20 videos. And so they're all bite size. And which is what I really like about lynda.com. Because when you're learning it, you can just maybe like today watch a couple videos and then tomorrow you can continue on it. And of course, it keeps track of what videos you have already watched. So we'll go through that and how it does that. And it's really nice because then you can just like have, if you have like 10 minutes, you can watch a video and you can see, like every day, learn a little bit more about what you're interested in. And yes, it is like YouTube because you can also learn a lot of new things in YouTube. And I myself like use YouTube to learn how to crochet because I couldn't understand what the book instructions are telling me, for example. So it was really great to have somebody demonstrate how to do things, which is great. But as you all know, when you're trying to search YouTube for things, very often you have to find the gem, like among a lot of maybe not so great videos sometimes. Not everybody is a professional teacher or an instructor, right? So, but with Lynda.com, at least you know all the people that are teaching the courses, they are all instructors, they're all professional instructors, they're experts in their field, and many of them are practicing. So you know that they know what they're talking about when they're telling you how to, like, edit a photo in Photoshop, for example. They're all like professional photographers. So you know that it's going to be quality stuff, which is nice because then you don't have to like worry about like, go through a bunch of videos to find that good one on YouTube, for example. So yeah, so let's take a look. And like I said, there is a lot of different kind of courses. So I'm just going to share my screen now so you can take a look at some of the example courses that you might be able to find in addition to all the professional things, and also take you through how you sign into Lynda and how to use the product. It's quite intuitive. So let me go and share my screen now. Just give me one moment. All right, and say bye to Liz for now. All right, so let's see, share screen, entire screen, share, and all right, so you can see this multi-screen thing going. So I'm just going to switch that off, and just so that you can see my screen. All right, so now I'm on the library website. Okay, so to access Lynda.com, there's a few ways you can do so. What we have here is under Borrow, and if you go to Borrow and you go to Learning and Research, and if you click on that or tap on that link there, it will take you to a list of some of the learning resources that the library offer. And one of them is Lynda.com here, for example. And it's really important, and we have emphasized this in the last few Tech First Day sessions too, is that you go through the link through the library website, because the library has already paid for these products. So for example, if you want to visit consumer reports, if you just Google consumer reports on the internet, what you end up getting is a paid version of it. So when you try to read an article, it will ask you to subscribe to the product, and you will have to pay for it. Same with Lynda.com. If you just go through like, a search on the internet and look for Lynda.com. However, when you go through the library website, what it does is that it will always ask you to verify that you're a Port Moody library person by entering your library card and also your PIN number, which is the last 4 digits of your phone number. And once you've done that, then they're like, oh, okay, so this is a Port Moody person. They already paid for it. So now you get access to all the product, not just like a couple pages, and then they'll ask you to like pay for it. So it's all, so make sure that when you are going through to any of the things that we talk about, go through the library website. So here we are on the library website. So there's Lynda.com right there. And so we're going to click on that. And the first page that you're going to see here is, I'm just going to hide this thing. I didn't realize it's stuck on there, is just a little disclaimer and a little information page to let you know what you're connecting to. Because with Lynda.com, it is an American product, so the information that you have, so with your Lynda.com asks you to create an account so that you can keep track of what courses you have taken, and later on we'll also talk about how you can also do certificates with Lynda.com that you can post to some of your social media or your LinkedIn profile, for example. And because of that, it does need you to create an account to keep your progress. And with that, it does store that account information, and that information is stored in the States. So to make sure that you are aware of that and that you are okay with it, we have a little consent page here for you to, before you connect to Lynda, just to let you know that this is what's happening. And if you're good with that, then you can click on the I consent, take me to Lynda. Give you a like, maybe not, then you can just take me back to the other page. So just, this is what this information is about, and so you know what you are connecting to. So I have kind of connected that, and to show you what it's going to look like. Let me just switch back to that. So I say, yes, I consent to it. And when you sign in, the first page you're going to see is a page where you ask for your library card number and also your library PIN number, which again is the last 4 digits of your phone number. All right. So once you've connected to that, the first time you do it, it will ask you to create an account. So you can see here, like you can put in an email address and also put in your first name and last name to make an account. And that way you can keep track of what courses you have taken and also, where you are. So it is good to have that information there, so you don't have to like every time you go in, you kind of know where you're left off, and we'll show you what your page looks like once you have an account. So that's what that is. All right, so switching back, because I have already signed in, it might have kicked me out because I click on this page, but we'll find out what happened. So once you sign into lynda.com, there is this homepage that you will see. And this homepage will show you a couple of things. It looks quite busy right now, but we'll go through all the different sort of sections on this homepage. What you see right here, first of all, is on your left-hand side, there is a continue watching. So these are all the courses that I've been watching. So you can see they list out the options that you have, and there's like more if you want to see all the courses that you have been watching. I'm kind of bad, but like I kind of jump around among courses. I don't stick with one. I should really like finish one before I watch another, but I don't. So I kind of jump around everything. So I got like lots of like continue watching going on. But these are some of the things that are like I'm watching right now, and it will tell you like how many, what courses they are, and how many percent you have completed. And when you click on it, it takes you right to the course. So that's the continue watching part. Down here, we have a playlist. So we'll talk about how to add things to the playlist. Sometimes when you're browsing through lynda.com, because there are more than 6,000 courses available, there are quite a lot of things. And so sometimes you're like, oh, well, like, I don't have time to do it now. Maybe I will watch that later. Or like you come across something that's really interesting that you didn't even think that there's a course about and you want to remember it, you can add that to your playlist. So you can see here, I have some playlists set up, and then I can go back and watch those courses. So that's one of the things that is there. And then here is a popular learning path. So these are sort of pre-built playlists almost of courses that are related to a particular topic. So you can see here, for example, if you're interested in becoming a graphic designer, when I click on that, it'll give me some suggestions of courses that I should take to get some, to learn to be a graphic designer, for example. And you can see here, you can look at all of those here. Okay, so you can see all the different courses that they suggest. And so this is more like a learning path that you have here. And then once I'm going to go back to my home screen, and then I can see here I have also got, then on the bottom is some suggestions of courses that is available. So you can see we have new courses that has been added. Courses are added to lynda.com constantly. You can see some of these ones here is telling me that it's this particular course on viral marketing has been added 14 hours ago. So it is really like a product that doesn't just like, oh, I'm going to put like, they tell us that, there's 3,000 courses, and then it's always 3,000 courses forever. It always have new stuff that get added into the catalog. Not only that, I find also give a new version of a software has been release, for example, like, oh, it's 2020 and now we have a new Photoshop, and it will, like, people will update, the instructors will update their courses to include anything new about like the 2020 Photoshop version or like the 2020 Word version or whatever. And that is really useful too, because you know that you're getting up-to-date course material and not something that was sort of put together like, 3 years ago when everything has changed. So it is really nice to see how many courses get added sort of all the time. There's also these courses that are called the weekly courses. So for example, this is called Help Yourself Tech Tips Weekly. So they don't only have they basically have a new video every week. So you can keep learning some of the things that are on there. So it's quite nice and quite up to date. So as I'm going down the list, you can see because it is the time we're in, you can see some of the new courses that they are sort of putting together, including, where was the other one that I saw, like, leading in crisis, for example. And then there was one I saw earlier. See, there's so many new courses that like it changed what I was looking at earlier. But there's one on Zoom, for example, as you can see why people are interested in like learning how to use Zoom. Yes, and there is a course on that. So those are the new courses. You can limit it by different topic. You can also take a look at what's popular. So like what popular at other Port Moody users are actually looking at. So one thing I forgot to mention while I'm clicking on this, and it is not loading. I think it's probably because I signed out earlier and it was confused. It's like, you're not in anymore. So even though I'm signed in, it's probably not letting me in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to Liz's beautiful face for a second. And I am going to quickly stop my screen sharing. And then I'm going to just switch over to sign in so that you don't see my library card number. And then we will continue. So sorry about this. I knew I shouldn't have messed with the
One thing
screen.
while Virginia logs in again, I do want to mention we found that on Facebook, you may need to like or follow our page in order for your comments to appear under our videos. So if there's a burning question you have, make sure you are liking or following our page, and we'll try and address that for you. Thanks.
Perfect, thank you. So I am going to now switch back to sharing my screen. Again, apologies for messing this up. All right, so let's go back here. All right, so now I think I should be signed in, so we'll see what happens. And the other thing, so we were looking at popular at your organization, so I'm going to tap on that, and you can kind of see what other people in Port Moody is looking at. And the reason why I say Port Moody, which is one thing that I also forgot to mention, is that with Lynda.com, it is based on not just that you have to have a library card, but it's also you have to be a resident of Port Moody in order to use Lynda.com. Now, don't stop this video yet because most libraries in the Lower Mainland also has a subscription to Lynda.com. So if you are living in Coquitlam or if you are from Burnaby, go through, as long as you go through their your home library website, you'll be able to access Lynda.com. So so just make sure you go through your home library and then put in your home library's library card number, and then you should be able to access Lynda.com. All right. So this is what's popular, so what other people are watching right now. So you can see a lot of customer service courses, how to, there it is, how to learn Zoom, that we all kind of have been introduced to these days. So there's like the Zoom, and then, somebody's learning some fancy things like data ingestion with Python, all sorts of words that I don't understand. And ingestion and Python, that's very interesting. Anyway, so some coding thing that is on there. So somebody's trying to learn Python, it looks like. So that's great. So you can kind of take a look and see what courses are available. And there's also some popular courses and some recommended courses that are available that you can, if you're not really sure where you want to get started, that might be a place to take a look first. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it is a lot of professional kind of courses. So we talked about, for example, like business courses and also coding courses, web development, marketing courses, and lots of those. But there are some fun things if those are not quite what you're looking for at the moment. So I've kind of chosen some that you can take a look just to give you a sense of the variety of courses that are available in here. Here I have a photography courses. So this is an introduction to photography courses, for example. So if you're ever interested in maybe learning about how to take some photos, Lynda.com has a whole ton of courses on that. There is also piano lessons. So there are some music lessons on here. So there's piano, I believe there's guitar, songwriting, or if you want to learn how to sing, there's also singing lessons on here. So those could be quite fun. So again, not all about work. And then I included this one here because one of my coworkers actually recently watched this and she said it's excellent. It's about resilience and how do you like change your thinking, and she said it's really, really good, and it's only about an hour, so it's something that you might consider watching. Or if you're a small business, and these days everything, because your place, your business might have changed a little bit, and so now we're doing a lot. You find yourself doing a lot of like social media, or like you're trying to like, I need to take pictures of products, and I'm not a photographer. What do I do? There's also a lot of courses on here about that is on a topic about for people who are not like professionals. So for in this case, for example, is small business photography for non-photographers. So there's also courses like that. So just to give you a sense of what's sort of available on here. All right, so I'm just going to double check, make sure, yep, still good here. All right, so this is our search. So let's take a look. So if you're looking at, well, these are all great, but not really quite I'm looking for. What else do you have for me, Lynda? Well, what you can do is take a look and move your mouse over to the word library up here, and if you do not click on it, just kind of like move your mouse over. What it will do, it will show you the main topics on the left here. So you can see all sorts of different topics. And in each of them, they're sort of separated out into popular topics, popular software, and some of the learning paths. So you can see if you're interested in being a developer, you can see what kind of things that's available in here. And you can help sort of narrow your search that way. So let's say I'm interested in doing web development and I would learn JavaScript, for example. So once you find the topic that you're interested in, just click on it, and then it will take you to the main page for that particular topic. And here we have JavaScript training and tutorials. So the first bit here is about sort of new courses. And so if you click on show more, you can see some of the new courses that are available about JavaScript, different aspects of JavaScript. If you scroll down a little bit, you will see that we're showing that there's 82 courses that are specific to JavaScript and about 2,405 video tutorials. So these are all the individual videos among each of the courses. And on the left-hand side, there is more ways for you to limit your search so you can just really get at what you like. So for example, one of the things I like to do is once I find like an instructor that I think, okay, well, this person explained things like in a way that I can understand and I really like them, I wonder what other courses they do. So you might be able to find someone that you really like, and then you can kind of click on their name and just look for other courses by the same instructor when you find one that you like. So that's one way to filter and narrow down your search. Another option here, which I really also like, is skill level. So if you're like, oh, well, I am just a beginner, just learning, just don't show me like these like other things because I'm not quite there yet. Just show me some beginner courses. So you can click on beginner, and then it will limit all the courses to just a particular level. So that's another way for you to narrow your search. So on the other side here, if you want by default, it shows you the newest courses first. Like I mentioned, like new courses get added all the time. You can sort of sort by release date. You can also sort by course title if you're interested. All right, so that is how you kind of navigate this interface here. So let's take a look. Maybe JavaScript is not quite what we're looking for today. Let's do something else. So instead of just looking through what's available and clicking through the different topics, you can also search for a topic. So if you're interested in learning one of my favorite topics, Microsoft Excel, you can see as I'm typing, things are popping up here. So let's search for Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to click on the top search right there. So it kind of like helps you autocomplete as you're searching for things. And here it's showing me that there's 11,751 results. Way too many, because what it does is it includes the individual videos too. So I don't need to see that. I just want to look at courses. So I'm going to go here again to just limit it to courses. And then now there's still quite a lot, 1,532 courses. And now I'm like, okay, well, just show me like beginner level. Like I said, you can just drill down to what you need. So there's beginner levels. You can search, you can drill down by duration, like how long are these courses or videos. And then further down here, yeah, so you can sort of like, you can see all the different ways you can limit it if you like, right? So that's something that you might be interested in doing. So we have, let's take a look. So I'm going to go and look for one that I have found that I would like to show everybody. So I'm just going to go into Excel here. So there's many different ways of getting into a topic that you like. So here we are on the Excel main page, just like when we're looking at the JavaScript page here. And there's an additional additional filter here that doesn't show up always because it depends on what topic you're looking for. But in this case, it makes sense. If you want to have a course that is just the same version as the one you have on your computer, so that it's not confusing when you're looking at, like, they're showing an interface on the video and you're like, I don't know what that is because I don't have those buttons, or my buttons are in the same different place. It could be kind of confusing when you're trying to learn something. So there is a nice version kind of filter there, so you can see, well, my computer has like 2013, so I am just interested in those courses, for example. So that's one way for you to also limit your search. All right, so let's take a look at what would be a good one here. Learning Excel. Let's go for so many. Yeah. Okay, let's look at conditional formatting for beginners. That sounds like a good one. So we click on that, and then now you're in a course. Okay, so you can see you got your topics here, and on the right-hand side, you'll see you can change sort of the layout. If you want the video portion of the screen to be a little bigger, you can just change the layout so that you have the video on the top. And then if you scroll down, you have the contents of the course, so you can kind of take a look at what this course is going to be about, give you more information on that. And there's also some information in the middle for that. Right. I'm going to switch back to the other one just for our video is a little easier to see. You can see this is an add to playlist. So remember, we talk about, like, if you find something and you don't have time to watch it yet, but you want to remember that, so you can click a look at add to playlist. So you can create a new playlist. And so I'm going to call it Excel playlist. And then you can add a description, and then you can add the course to your playlist. And then now you can see a little check mark, which means you have got that in. So next time when you go back to your playlist, which you can access when you click on your name, your playlist right there, you'll be able to see all the things that you have saved. All right. So here we have our main video right in the middle here. And then on this side is our content. So this is like the individual video name. So you can see here, you can take a look and see what this course is about. So for example, we have, so there's the chapters, and it also gives you like how long each video is. You can see a lot of them are just like 2-4 minutes, very, very digestible, bite-sized lessons that they give you. Okay, so you can see all that. Down here, you will see an overview of the course, so you have an idea what it is about, how long the whole course is, what level it is, and also how many people has watched this course. It is made in April, so just a couple weeks ago, it looks like. And also here you'll see that there's a transcript. So each of the video, when you watch it, there is actually a transcript. So if you want to preview what the video is about to see whether you even need this or whether it has the information that you need, this is a nice way to just take a quick look if you like. The other thing I love about Lynda.com is that it got exercise files. This is so useful when you're doing coding classes, or when you're doing like Photoshop classes, or when you're doing like something like Excel, for example, because with the exercise files, when you download them, you get to open the same spreadsheet, the same photo that the instructor is using, and that way you can practice and you can see whether you're getting the same results as the instructor, which is super handy. It's always good to, when you're watching the videos, and the nice thing, of course, with Lynda and watching videos is that you can stop anytime you like, right? Like, you don't understand something, well, stop and replay, or you can like replay the video until you get what is going on. You play the video once, work on the exercise, and then come back and see whether you can get the same results. So it's really nice to have the exercise files to follow along. So I'm going to go back here. So it's very straightforward. So say, for example, if we're watching, let's go to formatting and how to highlight a cell. So let's watch that video here. So I'm just going to click on that.
This worksheet called Highlight Cell Rules in our Chapter 1 file. We've got 100 names or so. The list is going to be growing as well. We want certain numbers to stand out more prominently. The feature that we're about to use is called conditional.
So I just click on the middle of the screen of the video to pause it. There is also the buttons here for you to control your video playing, very much like any videos that you see. You got the play button. This is one of my favorite. I use it quite a bit, like 10 seconds, rewinding back, because very often, I'm not paying full attention. I'm like, what did they say again? Or you're trying to catch something, or they said something that you're like, no idea what they're saying. You can always go back for 10 seconds just to repeat. So this instructor doesn't matter. It can repeat as many times as you like until you understand what they're saying. There is also the go back to the previous video, the next video, adjusting sound, of course, how long the video is and where you are. And over on the right side, you can adjust the playback speed. So it is something that you're quite familiar with, or if the instructor tends to speak really slowly, or the other way around, like me, who tend to speak too quickly, you can slow them down by changing the speed of the playback, right? So that's kind of nice. Closed caption is another option, that's something that you can put on with the closed caption. So again, just it's kind of will be the same thing as the transcript below. And you can see as looking at the transcript, it actually also highlight the part where the video is. So that's kind of nice. Give you oh, they're just going to talk about a bunch of things. I don't need that, but I want to start right here. Click on the transcript and it will jump right to that part of the video. So it's quite nice to have those options available. The little gear icon is just settings for your video. So whether you want what the video quality and all of that is in there. And the last button is changing the video to full screen. So some of the basic kind of controls there. All right. And one more thing. So for example, if you are looking at this video, you're like, oh, that's great. I need to remember that. And this is something that you always use. What you can do, because you have an account, that's another reason why you want to sort of create an account with this, is that I can at this point add a note to myself. So in the course itself, right next to the contents on the left-hand side, you can add there's a little notebook. So that's your personal notebook. This is not shared with anybody. So you can say, oh, for example, how to highlight, a cell, right? And then you can add whatever notes for yourself, here. And what it does is once you press enter, which is what I did, it remembers your notes. So you can add as many as you like. And not only that, it also remembers where that part of the video talks about the notes that you added. So for example, if I'm on a different video, say if I'm in this part here, or even doesn't even have to be the same video, it could be any video in the course. As long as I go to my notebook, I can click on that little timer button. If I click on that, it jumps to that part of the video where I added the note. So, if you want to put a note and say, oh, this is how you do it, and you want to rewatch it, you can actually kind of almost bookmark individual parts of the video that talks about something that you're interested in. So it's really quite handy to have the little notebook function in there. Right. So that is basically how Lynda courses work. You can see it's really quite handy to have this whole range of courses available to us. Another way sometimes people use Lynda.com is not quite as sort of I'm going to watch a course from beginning to end, but sometimes it's just to have it so you can look for a quick answer. So for example, these days, maybe you're oh, I need to reach out to, my family, somewhere overseas. And I'm oh, I need to use FaceTime, for example, right? And if you have not done that, you can say okay, well, let's search and see if there is a video about how you FaceTime, so it's very much like when you're Googling. So it's the same kind of idea. So I'm going to put iPad FaceTime. And when you do a search, it will show you all the videos that include those keywords that you just put in, iPad and FaceTime. And you can see here, for example, I have in this course here, learning how to use the iPad, there is a particular video just on using group FaceTime or doing a video course. So if you, again, same thing, you click on it, it takes you right to the relevant video. So you don't have to go through the video and watch all the courses and find out where it is. So for example, all right. So that's one handy way, or so it's kind of nice that it helps you sort of search for what you need. So it's handy that way. also within each of the course, if you find a course and you're like, I don't know whether this will cover what I need, you can always use this search function to look for it also. So that's another way to use Lynda.com. And I think that's probably all I have. Oh, one more thing is that remember we talk about like how you hover your mouse over the word library, you can see kind of what topics are available. Well, if you click on it, which I do all the time because you see a button, you click on it. What it would do is it will actually give you an A to Z list of all the subjects that are available on Lynda.com. So if you're curious about like, okay, well, like really, what does this Lynda.com actually have? You can kind of go through this long list of topics and also some of how many videos or how many courses they have on the side there. So that's kind of a nice way if you want to preview all the things that you can learn with Lynda.com in your free time. That's what this little subject list is for. And with Lynda.com, like I mentioned, it was bought by LinkedIn. So they do offer LinkedIn, of course, is a sort of a social media platform for work, right? Like you want to build your little profile, for prospective, employers, for example, so that they can kind of see what skills you have. So with Lynda.com and the integration that they have, you can actually post certificates that you earn. So every time you finish a course, you get a certificate and you can get all of those under your profile. And so if you click on certificates, you will see all the courses that you completed, and you can then click on, like, say, view a certificate, so this is like, kind of, it tells you when you completed it and, how long the course is and all of that. You can save yourself a copy of the Lynda.com certificate that you have. And then there's also right next to this a share button. So if you want, you can also share the certificate or post it to your LinkedIn profile. Of course, that means you will be adding your LinkedIn profile and connecting that with your Lynda account, which you may or may not want to do. But if this is something that is of interest to you, this is where you can do it so that employers can see what kind of courses you have been taking. So if you're saying that, well, like I didn't go to school to take like a marketing course, but look, I have gone through all the marketing courses, for example, on Lynda.com. So it kind of shows that, you are also doing like sort of some online learning and doing some lifelong learning, and you are, like upgrading your own skills, right? So it's kind of nice to have that on there. So this is Lynda.com, and I'm just going to switch back with this and see if I have missed something, which I probably might have. Liz, did I miss anything?
No, that was great, Virginia. Thanks for a very thorough overview about Lynda.com. I don't know about everybody watching.
I can like talk that long about Lynda.com.
No, I'm excited to explore a bit more and see what I can learn. I'm sure our viewers are as well.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite resources of the library. So like I can kind of talk about it forever and ever. So
that's awesome. You know what you're talking about.
You should stop me now. All right. So that's it for this week. Tech Thursday, thank you for joining us. Like Liz said earlier, if you're watching this video and if you have questions, please do let us know in the comments. It is a very intuitive soft product, so I think it's probably fairly easy to use. But if you do have questions, please do let us know. And then next week, I think we're going to Press Reader. Is that right, Liz?
I think we're ready for Press Readers. So
say one of the best for last. So next week we will most likely be talking about Press Reader, which is from through the library. We have a subscription that you can read online newspapers from all around the world, and it's very different from just getting on you're searching for Vancouver Sun on the internet, because these are actually full edition of the paper, so you get everything, and it even flips like you're reading a real newspaper, even though you're on the computer. So we will be showing you how to do that next week.
Great. I look forward to it. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for another Tech Thursday. Be sure to check back with us next Thursday, same time, same place, for another video. If you have any questions in the meantime, like Virginia said, feel free to add them to the comments under this video, or if you want to get in touch with one of our staff for some tech help, maybe on something that's not Lynda.com, feel free to drop us a line through social media, or also at askthelibrary@portmoody.ca. Send us an email, and somebody will get back to you. Okay, if that's it for today, then thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.
See you next week. Bye.